First and Now is brought to you by World Vision Canada, national charity partner of the BC Lions. Visit bclions.com/worldvision to become a supporter. The holiday season just around the corner. Reminder, a lot of people out there in need. So if you're looking for a great charity to support around the holidays, there you go. World Vision Canada. Matt Baker, Nick Kowalski. It is the off-season very much in the couple of weeks since we last spoke. Definitely feels like the off-season. The BC Lions already quite busy in the transaction world as far as signing some American rookies. What's happening? You've been the world traveler. Winnipeg, Kelowna.
A lot is happening. Yeah, people ask, what do you do in the offseason? Well, there's no shortage of news in the BC Lions world. Touchdown Kelowna obviously happening on Monday, and then Winnipeg the week before that for the Grey Cup, and we have a schedule coming out soon, so prepping that up, and there's still a lot of things going on, even though we're approaching December.
All I'm going to say about that is right now is because we can't really say anything. Just here's a little tease for you. I like this schedule. I like a lot of it.
Yeah, and we already know the first two games.
We already know the first two home games, yeah.
That was expected. Canada Day weekend. They're going to be sandwiched in between, right? The week 4 against Calgary on June 27th, and then week 5 against Edmonton on July 4th. Saturday, 4 p.m. starts, the Apple Bowl. I mean, what more could you ask for, right? Hopefully it's sunny. It should be some beautiful days out there. You
know, it's the type of thing when we first, full disclosure, before the announcement in late September, we knew for several weeks we were going to be doing this, right? Obviously. And that whole time, it's like, yeah, this is going to be good. This is going to be good. But now that we have opponents' dates and we can sort of visualize the expansion of the Apple Bowl, save on foods at the field at the Apple Bowl, we should say, this is going to be outstanding.
Yeah, and 4 points are on the line, right, too. That's what I think maybe got lost a bit in Touchdown Pacific is that the game matters, right? It's not like it's the Lions in Langford. It's preseason and you're just doing your tune-up there. But when it comes to these Touchdown Series games, they matter in the standings. And Western opponents for Kelowna, like that matters even more, right? It's going to be the BC Lions home opener per se against Calgary in week 4, and that's going to be a big game. You're expecting Vernon Adams Jr. to roll into town with the Stampeders, revenge on their mind for what happened in the Western semifinal, and the fact that, you know, we saw a team like Calgary this past season jump off to a first place start, and then that helped them propel themselves into the playoffs, right? So if you fall behind early, like a team like Edmonton has over the couple of years, and you drop these two Kelowna games, like they're going to matter, right? So not only the fact that they're going to be sold out, almost 20,000 people there, they're speculating, right? Should be an awesome atmosphere, and just an atmosphere where, you know, the games matter. That's what I really enjoy.
Yeah, and you mentioned falling behind the 8 ball like Edmonton has. That game against Edmonton, look, the Elks, and there's a whole off season to go here. They're going to add some pieces. They're going to look to fix whatever they feel needs to be fixing. They're going to approach this season as a big year for them. They're going to want to set a tone, like you say, early, and that comes with an early season matchup on the 4th of July. So, yeah, we look forward to getting up there. Sounds like we'll get up there again in the new year and maybe announce some more festival details. Single game tickets, February the 19th, but you want to jump the line, become a BC Lions season ticket holder, you will get priority for the 2 games in Kelowna. So that was the news of this week, and we're going to talk more about that with Jacob Bond, a former member of the Okanagan Sun. Apple Bowl is going to be a home game for him. Jacob coming up here in just a few minutes. We'll look at some of the intriguing potential free agents for the Lions. We're bringing it back. Go for it or punt at the end of this episode. But we have to touch on it. Congratulations in order to the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Our first chance to talk about the result of the Grey Cup, as our last recording was on just following the Western final loss. And not going to lie, seeing them finish the job, seeing them hoist the trophy, and seeing all the subsequent follow-ups on the social media and everything, the pain of the Western final loss isn't going to go away still anytime soon, the fact that they got it done. But I'll tell you what, should serve as some hunger and some motivation for this Lions team to get over the hump.
I've had those exact conversations with several members at all phases of this organization too, that it did sting, watching Saskatchewan ultimately, finish the job, because we were talking in the Western Final that game was right there, right? And obviously Davis Alexander being banged up, and kudos to him just being a warrior, and it's kind of
absolutely
maybe a combination of being a warrior and a little stupidity, right? But you kind of need that in an athlete, right? You need them to do whatever it takes. There was a soundbite earlier in Grey Cup week where Davis was like, I would die for Grey Cup, right? And it just shows how much it means to guys like that, right? And playing through that grade 3 hamstring tear is pretty remarkable stuff, right? And we talked the week earlier too about the guys that we had that were going through injuries of that nature too, like similar extreme injuries that they were playing through, and that time of year it just matters, who can survive at the end of the day, and the Riders did, so congrats to them. But yeah, it stings, right? And like you said, to wrap it all up, the hunger is definitely real in this organization. But great week overall too. The awards happened since we last recorded, and obviously the BC Lions kind of cleaned house with the awards, right? Nathan Rourke, the MOC, MOP, Andrew Pearson with the Tom Payton Memorial Award for outstanding sportsmanship, and then Matthew Betts with his second MOGP in 3 seasons, right? So that was awesome to see. I was there too. We have a behind the scenes kind of look at how the CFL awards went for our guys. Nathan Rourke mic'd up, all that great stuff. Red carpet bantering, talking to the commissioner, all those things, right? So lots of good stuff in there, but it was great to see our guys clean up.
Yeah, and I didn't even realize this part of it until after we announced it, but I believe Betts is the only Canadian to win MODP twice. I think that came out after, and Nathan Rourke obviously speaks for itself. It was nice of him to give us a shout out there in his speech.
Parker Hall beat us up. Parker Hall got 2 shout outs. Much deserved for Parker Hall.
Oh yeah, so no, not.
We were making a good deal of that after the awards.
Yeah. So that hearing about that was. Full disclosure, wasn't actually watching it at that point. Had a family commitment on that Thursday evening with my daughter that I promised I would be at. So I was kind of covering it from afar and made sure everything got sent out. But our little work group chat, Carol and Cody mentioned that we got a shout out, and I looked at that, and that made me happy. It's very humbling because, like I said, that week, the Thursday, still wasn't quite over it, right? Because again, you're seeing everything. You're seeing the teams practicing. You're seeing the press conferences. You're seeing, the awards. And again, it will all serve as motivation. And you wanted to talk about the CFL All Access Series, which again, we were planning the week before. We knew what our interview subjects were going to be for that. Again, when there's no time between division finals and Grey Cup, you got to plan all this stuff. And seeing that finished product was still pretty cool. Yeah,
Grey Cup All Access. If you just look it up on YouTube or you look it up on the CFL's website, it'll be front and center. So if you're a CFL fan, it doesn't matter if you're just a Lions fan and listening to this, but I would definitely go and check that out. I did. They brought in an agency in 96 who I know some producers there, and they did a fantastic job. It's kind of the content I think that takes the CFL to the next level and takes other sports leagues to the next level. You always use the F1 example, right? And there's definitely a similar feel, and I'm just hoping there's more to come with that. Like you said, we had meetings with the agency and the CFL the week of the division finals, and talking about who our subjects would be, and obviously one was going to be Nathan Rourke. So pretty much what I did at the awards night, I imagine the agency would have been doing on Thursday if we were in the game, and then I think it was James Butler they were eyeing in on, and then either or of Robert Carter Jr. and Stanley Berryhill. So it would have been great that the Riders had AJ Ouellette, Trevor Harris, Tavon Campbell. So, a good insight look. Got mic'd up during the Grey Cup. Talked about Davis Alexander earlier. There's the audio of him, re-aggravating that hamstring, and it's probably tough to watch if you're an Alouettes fan, but you also gotta, I would say, tip your cap to the pain he fought through to finish that game. And I mean, it was a Hail Mary away from becoming a Grey Cup champion, right? Crazier things have happened.
Really, the Shea Patterson fumbles really what derailed their best chance to come back, go for 2, maybe get it to overtime or get the ball back and maybe even kick a winning field goal. But hey, Saskatchewan was full marks for that victory. Corey Mace, well coached as always. Coach's challenge that caused a pass interference call on what otherwise would have been a third down stop led to Saskatchewan's first touchdown. Those are those big moments in games that we talk about. So
I always like seeing our guys win, like Travis Brown, ex-linebackers coach, getting his first Grey Cup ring.
I shot a text to Marcus Sales on Monday morning. He got back to me, and then it's just, like there's no... And that's the unique thing about this job and working in this great league, is it is so small, and the result of that is we have relationships with pretty much everybody. I was texting with Mike Leonello as well, running backs coach or pass game coordinator with the Montreal Alouettes, the former running backs coach with the BC Lions, and just some prime examples. So either way, we're going to know people that come out on top at the end of the year, and hopefully next year we're talking about the BC Lions. Before we get to Jacob Bond, just a quick sort of reset on some pending Lions free agents. Can kind of run through this quickly. 3 Down Nation always on top of it. Our friends there with this stuff. Quarterbacks Chase Bryce, Jeremiah Masoli. Running back James Butler. You'd have to think JB is a top priority to bring back. Speaking of fullbacks, Riley Pickett will need a new deal. Wide receivers, Aiden Eberhardt, Keon Hatcher Sr. I would say both of those guys are major priorities. Hatch, of course, the leader. We'll see what comes into play there as far as contract talks. And wrapping up the offense on the line, Dejon Allen, Jarrell Broxton, David Foucault. Remember, David unfortunately suffered a serious leg injury. Andrew Pearson, winner of the Tom Pate, like we talked about, and Chris Slugger. So on offense, some pretty big decisions there, as always.
I've seen worse lists, though, in terms of having more people to sign, right? But it's nice that you have Nathan Rourke locked up long-term, right? And that's who you're building around, as well as obviously Buck Pierce. But you like to think that JB, he seems to be a great fit here, right? So I know he loves it here. So that's definitely, like you said, a top priority. And then the CFL receiving leader, Keon Hatching Sr., right? So definitely not as big as a list as maybe other years, but still a lot of important names on offense.
Yeah, and then, of course, another major priority, Jarrell Broxton. Yeah. Some believe he should have been the division finalist for most outstanding offensive lineman. That's no disrespect at all to Jamarcus Hardrick. But, everyone talks about the line of scrimmage and the trenches. It might seem like an overused thing, but it's true. That's an area they have to prioritize. Sean White and Kyle Nelson talking about the specialists. Whitey showing no signs of wanting to call it a career, we don't think, so would have to hope that gets done in short order. Switching to the defense, on the line, Sione Tuhema ended on the injured list. Jonah Tavai and Nathan Cherry, the prominent guys needing new contracts. Linebackers, a Canadian theme here. Isaiah Messam, Adam O'Clair, Ben Haladik, Adam Konar, American Josh Woods, once he got up to speed, rehabbing from his knee injury, was very good in the middle. Maxime Royer, a valuable special teams piece and a good leader on this ball club. In the secondary, going to be tricky here to figure out the road they go down. Gary Peters, TJ Lee, both needing new contracts, as will Ronald Kent Jr., Jalen Edwards Cooper, and Josh Hegarty.
Yeah, and that sounds like a lot of names when you list them all up, but on the flip side, guys like Matthew Betts are here, Jackson Finley, Christophe Beaulieu, Robert Carter Jr., Levi Bell and Bradley Anay, the 2 DNs that came on late in the season, right? So, or Anay, I always say Anay. I got to get that.
Anay,
that's one. I take pride on getting my pronunciations right, and that's one that always stumps me. Aiden Eberhardt, we always got down, though. Not
we called him Eberhardt for like a year and a half, right?
Yeah, Eberhardt, so I got that one down. But the point is, there's a lot of foundational pieces are locked in, and that excites me. It obviously all starts with Nathan Rourke, but on the flip side, Matthew Betts, the leader of this defense, right? MODP, he's back for another year under contract. So work is cut out for Ryan Rigbaden and company, but there's still a lot of foundational pieces already in place.
And as always, there's going to be a newcomer that comes in and surprises, much like the guy we're going to talk to here in just a few seconds. Jacob Bond, BC Lions fullback. He was a standout linebacker with the Okanagan Sun, and he played a majority of the games for BC in 2025. We'll speak with Jacob coming up here on First and Now, presented by World Vision Canada. All right, we're going to continue with the Kelowna theme, the Okanagan theme, by welcoming in a young fella coming off his rookie campaign with the BC Lions from the Okanagan Sun to training camp. He worked through an injury and he was back with the team in July. Jacob Bond, BC Lions linebacker slash fullback slash special teamer, joining us here on First and Now. Jacob, good to see you.
Good to see you guys too.
So what's it been like reflecting here these last couple of weeks? Of course, we've talked at length about the season coming to an end and just how close we came. But when you look back on it, what was the overall experience like for you?
The way it kind of happened, I wasn't too sure, coming in like kind of mid-season. I was getting ready for my junior season, but then, got brought up and got to dress my first week there. It was kind of a little bit of a blur throughout the season, but I've had time to reflect on it in the past few weeks, and it was a great experience. Couldn't ask for a better team to come into and to go to the Western Final in my first year. That was pretty special.
Yeah, let's take us back through the start. You were performing pretty well in training camp. What a few people might not remember is first preseason game in Langford, you go down with the ankle injury, kind of puts a halt to that. What was that like, having to come back from that and the rehab and earning your spot back? What was that process like?
Yeah, it was definitely kind of unfortunate timing. The first preseason game, it happened pretty early on as well. So I feel like I didn't get to showcase enough in that game. Rehabbing any injury is kind of tough on the mental side of things. So, once I got past that, and we had a great crew of physio and trainers at camp there. So I just put my head down, got to work, and I knew I could come back from it. Just wasn't sure if I'd be coming back playing junior or staying in the CFL. But I think the experience, it was great. Just work hard and you can come back from anything, really.
Take us back a little bit, Jacob, to your entire journey of how you got here, because we talked about it on Arrow Up and the training camp documentary that we profiled you on, but the connection you have to the BC Lions, the Touchdown Kelowna series, all of that is you're with the Okanagan Sun. But talk about how you even got on the radar of the BC Lions and how playing pro ball with the BC Lions became a reality for you.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy how it all came together. But with the junior league, I guess you're a territorial player for your home CFL team. And there was always like talk about some guys, going straight from junior to the league. And I knew it was possible. I had one of my buddies do it and went to Calgary over there. So knew it was possible. Just had to put the work in. Everything kind of fell into place perfectly. Lots of help from, Neil was in contact with Tyler McLaren, guy from BCFC, and they kind of just helped me along the way. All I had to do was perform, and I think I came off my best season, and then went to the little combine thing that we had and performed well there as well. And really, I just wanted to secure the invite to camp. I think that was my first goal. And then once I got that, it was just, it's time to come in and just put the work in. I did that, and I guess the team noticed. So I got put on the roster first year. It was great. And, dressed for every game I was available for. So that was my biggest thing too. Just wanted to stay on the field.
Yeah, and I think the fact that you transitioned to a fullback because you were an all-star linebacker with the Okanagan Sun, right? So two obviously positions on the different sides of the ball, but you're still using the skills that you learned as a linebacker in the CFL, right? Special teams and all of that, right? Like but it was still a transition for you to go to fullback, I'm guessing?
Most definitely. I think just the terminology and the mindset you have to have playing offense compared to defense is like totally different. So once I figured that out, it was, I figured out the playbook. That was something new too. Once I figured that out, it was kind of, smooth rolling. But, I had some great vets, Riley Pickett, first example, like he helped me out. He was never that guy that would kind of shut me out, and he was always answering my questions, helping me out on the field. So he made it a lot easier for sure.
Did you feel the jump in talent going from obviously from junior to CFL, and your teammates with guys like Keon Hatcher, James Butler, obviously Nathan Rourke, but you're also going against some of the best up here too across the 8 other teams in the CFL. Like, talk about that talent gap that you had to adapt yourself to.
For sure, the speed was the biggest thing. It's like right when I got to camp, you noticed like, okay, this is, way higher level, obviously. I mean, I knew that coming into it. It was going to be quite a bit different, but it's, everybody on the team, everybody on the field is, just as good, if not better than you. So it's pushes you every day. That's for sure. And I feel like it was pretty good for me. Yeah.
Colton Meikle of the Kamloops Broncos, he had his second go-around as a territorial camp attendee, and you guys obviously knew each other quite well from your time in BCFC. What was that experience like going alongside him? Do you guys share insights? Do you guys motivate one another? What's that relationship like, Jacob?
Yeah, I've known Colton for a while. We've never really been close friends or anything, but played against each other a lot. And then to get to go to camp together, it was pretty cool. We were also rooming together at camp. So, I got to pick his brain a little bit about how camp is and the process of it all. And then, I think the main thing is you just got to show up to work every day. I mean, he does that as well. And I think when you see everybody kind of, showing up, trying to be at their best every day, it pushes you. So I mean, him and all the other guys, they definitely helped out and kind of gave me an idea of what to expect.
We had a very special announcement, a couple months ago, but more details surrounding Touchdown Kelowna, weeks 4 and 5, Calgary and Edmonton. How excited are you, Jacob, to be part of 2 home games in a place you're very familiar with, the Apple Bowl in Kelowna?
Yeah, that's gonna be a blast for sure. I remember when they announced it, I didn't even realize what happened. It was I think it was middle of the game or something, or halftime. Yeah. But after the game, my parents you coming back to Kelowna? And that was a pretty ecstatic feeling because I mean that's home. That's where I've been for the past 5-6 years. So very familiar with that place, the Apple Bowl. It's a great stadium, got some great fans, and I think that it'll live up to the expectations for sure.
What about getting potentially 20,000 in there? You thought about that aspect of it? How awesome is that going to be? That's
going to be pretty cool. Yeah, I don't know how they're going to do it, but I trust them, and that place is going to be rocking for sure. And there's going to be a lot of passionate fans there that just love football, and yeah, that'll be a fun trip for sure.
Well, playing junior ball though, you've experienced obviously we played in Langford last year, but you've played across the province too, and you've just seen that someone as high as Amar Doman will always say that this is BC's team, not Vancouver's team, right? And I'm sure you've experienced the football community across BC, right? What are some of the most special places you've been to, or best stadiums that you look forward going to when you were playing junior ball?
Junior ball, aside from the trips being fun because you're just out there with the boys, Prince George is pretty cool because it's kind of a smaller community up north. They, haven't really had football for very long, but they would pack out their little stadium they had there, and they have some passionate fans, and they're all, coming around the football team. Trips to Langford were pretty cool as well. I mean, it's just a nice stadium. It's fun. Going to the island, those were always fun trips, but nothing beats the Apple Bowl. I can't lie. We got the best fans, we had the best experience in junior football, I think, personally. There's just, I think overall, there's lots of communities that love football, just don't get enough of it.
Do you still, it's funny because whenever I feel like a guy like Javon Coutoy, whenever he scores a touchdown, someone like Dwayne Ford especially is always like, hey, there's so much talent in junior football across Canada that's just untapped, right? And yourself, Javon Coutoy, Kieran Poissant, Sean White even played junior ball back in the day. Do you feel like there's sort of a change coming with that though, where more and more junior players are being developed or discovered, or do you feel like there's still more potential for guys out there?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of potential in the junior league. It's just a matter of finding guys that are able to transition to the speed, I think. I think there's tons of talent. A lot of guys now are utilizing junior football. You don't want to go to university, go play junior ball. You just want to play football, want to work on the side. Like a lot of ballers in the junior football league across Canada. Quite a few guys in Sask and Winnipeg and all those places practicing with their respective CFL teams. So I think it's just a matter of finding the guys and then maybe putting it in their brain a little bit that opportunity is real, and just keep working, because that's the only thing that's going to get you to the CFL.
Reflecting on your 2025 season with the Lions, any top moments, favorite moments that stand out to you, whether it was on the field, off the field, anything come to mind?
I mean, off the field, just coming in every day, learning something new, building relationships with new guys in the locker room. That was pretty special, especially coming in as a young rookie. It was nice to see that, the guys are welcoming, and it's a great locker room to be a part of. On the field, I think, just getting ready for every game, going out there for my little warm up, just, getting to soak everything in. Those moments were pretty special. The win against Calgary in the semifinal, that was probably the top moment, because that was just a breath of relief for me. And then, going on to play in the Western final, just a cool experience overall, getting to see all these different stadiums and their fans and all that. It was super cool.
Your debut, I think, was in Edmonton in July. Was that correct? So take us back to that quickly. You're standing on the sideline, national anthem. I think it was a fairly nice night in Edmonton, Sunday night. What's going through your mind when you're standing there waiting for kickoff?
Yeah, that was a fun one. Honestly, looking back on it, it's just a blur. It was just one of those moments, but it's, like just trying to soak it all in throughout the anthem. And then, I'm on special teams, so I'm first one on the field. It was like, all right, it's real now. It's as soon as that ball is kicked, it's like, it's time to go. That one was super fun. I think that was a good way to start my career. Kind of, with, I wouldn't say, it was like an easy game by any means, but it was a little taste of what you're going to get. And then, we had Sask the next week. So it was like, okay, there's special teams, you got to be on it every play. So it was a good kind of, I don't know how you would put it, but just a way to start my career. It was good. And then nice weather, beautiful stadium, it was a good time.
And we saw how special teams made a big difference in that playoff win over Calgary that you referenced a minute ago. We saw Riley Pickett make a few catches this past season. Are you going to be angling Buck and Bergs and everyone to work in some more fullback involvement in this offense for you?
You know what? I'll just I'll let them make the decisions, but I'll just I'll just stay at my best, and hopefully they see it and they can use me a little bit more. But I think the fullback position, I think there's so many different things you can do, and I think you see it with Pickett. I think he does a great job of being versatile, and comes to practice, he was willing to work on any sort of skill you need him to have. Some days we're out there running routes, and other days we're with the O-line blocking. So we'll see what they do with the offense. Whatever they did this year, it was pretty special. So, hopefully they just sprinkle in a little more fullback stuff.
Well, you did score a touchdown with the Okanagan Sun back in the day, right?
Yeah, I think what did I have? 2 or 3 touchdowns with them
on offense, right?
We had a little wildcat package it was pretty sweet. We had like 2 D linemen, me, and then like 2 running backs in there. It was crazy. But had a few rushing touchdowns. Hopefully I can get my hands on a few more balls this year. I don't know. We'll see. But I just gotta keep working at it.
The blueprint exists. There we go. Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, that Wildcat never quite took off, did it? I remember, was it like 2009, 2010? It was the Miami
Ronnie
Dolphins
Brown,
doing it, and yeah.
Well, one of my favorite, the playoffs is obviously a bit of a side tangent here, but the playoffs is you just lay everything out on the line, right? And Corey Woodruff was playing nose tackle on short yardage, and then Sask for a bit, right? So that's another example where you just put your best 12 guys out there, right, and just make it happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just, wherever you can put them, you just put them in there and, tell them what to do. And hopefully they do it at a high level.
There you go. Hey, listen, Jacob, this has been great. Appreciate you taking the time to catch up. We look forward to seeing what year 2 brings, and before you know it, we'll be conversing in the cafeteria over scrambled eggs and Kamloops. Let's bring it on, man.
Every single morning, those powdered eggs, man.
Yeah. No, smoothie bar. You got to hit the smoothie bar.
It's funny, Kowalski can't get enough of it. He loves the food. He's always on the edge of his seat, looking at the meal schedule, seeing what's for lunch, what's for dinner.
Lunch and dinner, yeah, not breakfast.
It's his favorite 3 weeks of the year. I can't really blame him. So
lunch and dinner, great. Breakfast, it'll get old.
See, yeah, we're on the same page.
Hey, props to the great staff at TRU. They take care of us. It's awesome, and it's fun to go to camp for 3 weeks, even for guys like us who aren't really doing much work. So, thank you, my friend, and I'm sure we'll be in touch throughout the off season.
100%. Appreciate it, guys.
See you, Jacob. Take care.
All right, excellent stuff with Jacob Bond, and looking forward to what year 2 has in store. Quick story on the Wildcat, by the way. Here's so. In a previous life, as many of you know, I was an employee of Team and then TSN 1040 Radio, the longtime BC Lions rights holder. And one of my many duties over the years was covering daily practices, back when actual radio reporters in town came to practice. So I want to say it was like 2009, and they were practicing they had some Wildcat packages at practice. I think the running back was Martel Mallet that year. Yeah. Most outstanding rookie, still the last Lion to rush for 200 yards in a game, ended up signing with the Philadelphia Eagles after that solid rookie season. So as was the norm, what you would do is we'd send an email to the whole station, to the hosts, to the producers, just if there's any significant updates at Lions practice. I'm sure it's still done to an extent today for those who cover practices. And so I just innocently, or so I thought, said, by the way, there was some Wildcat formations at practice. And then one of the hosts said it on the air. I come to practice here the next day, and Jamie Cartmel, as many of you know, the first ever co-host with me on First and Now, the previous Lions head of communications, now at the Edmonton Oilers, just kind of looked at me kind of sideways and said, just a friendly reminder, don't report on any specific formations or anything you see, because there's still rules in place. Like, if you're a camera operator covering practice, you can't film those sessions. You can only film basically stretch an individual. So I kind of got my wrist slapped. And me, I'm a young guy. It's kind of early in my career. I'm like, oh boy, I screwed up big time here. But cooler heads prevailed, and I don't think they ever used it in a game, maybe because of my reporting. Who knows?
Well, it's like the whole Jeshua Antwi when he came here for last season, right? You know, the
squib kick thing,
stuff that he was doing, right? That's something that was definitely practiced too. And another one is Vernon Adams Jr. punting in practice too, right? And they pulled that one out in the Western semifinal last year in Regina.
Yeah.
And that was one where I'm telling Steven, our photographer on the sideline, I'm like, they're punting here. I can tell, like, the way they call the timeout, and Vernon's going back out there, and sure enough, that's why to a T that you can't reveal any details or formations or anything about the team periods in practice.
So there you go. That's the Wildcat reminded me of that one. There we have it. So Before we wrap it up with a little go for it or punt, you have some trivia updates. What do we got?
Yes, not to remind everybody about the playoff game against Saskatchewan, the Western Final, but if you guys remember with yourself and Moj, I asked you guys all the touchdown scores in the Saskatchewan BC games, right?
Yes.
But there was a 2-1 series in 1963 and 1973 and 1974. There were more playoff games that I could not find the details for on the public domain of the internet. The CFL got back to me, though, and I now do have the box scores from the 1963 West Finals.
Oh, wow.
1973 West Semifinal and 1974 West Semifinal. And there are 6 Lions who scored touchdowns in those 1963 and 1973 and 1974 games. Some are big names. Some are, I'm not expecting you to get here.
Well, I'm trying to remember what names we rattled off already from those games, right? Or
none.
So we didn't do those. Okay.
We didn't include them.
How many guys are we talking
So
here?
63, we have 4 guys in the best of 3 series.
Willie Fleming.
Willie Fleming is one. He scored 2 touchdowns in that game.
Norm Fieldgate?
Norm Fieldgate is incorrect. You're looking at running backs and fullbacks here. Very
boy.
1963.
Yeah.
See, that's why I don't know.
Initials.
R, M, N, B, and B, L.
Oh, boy. Yeah. You're going to put me on the spot here big time. Neil Beaumont?
Neil Beaumont is incorrect.
Incorrect. Yeah, just give those to me.
Nub Beamer. Do you know that name?
Not really.
Awesome name, though.
Nub
Beamer.
BC Lions all-name team.
Fullback
He's on
went
it.
to Oregon State. Bill Lassiter is a fullback.
Bill Lassiter. Okay, yeah.
So Canadian fullback.
Hey, here you go. How about this for trivia? Bill Lassiter's granddaughter used to cut my hair.
No way.
Yep.
So there you go. There's
Shout
your
out
connection.
to Mariah if you're listening. She's no longer cutting hair, but there you go.
And then Ron Morris was a running back, American running back. Played 6 seasons.
Ron Morris.
But
Okay, yeah.
he scored twice in those games. 73, we
Yeah.
have let me look up this guy's position. I think this guy's a household name. You're looking at a running back. Yeah, he played a lot of seasons.
1973.
Yep. BC Lions. Drafted by the Chicago Bears. I'm looking him up right now.
How is this was this like a long time Lion?
3 seasons. 72 to 74.
Initials.
JM.
JM. Yeah, I don't know.
Johnny Musso.
Okay, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. See,
And
we should have Moj in for a segment for this segment.
If Moj is listening, he's going to be angry.
Yeah.
This is his wheelhouse. Be his time to shine. And then 74, we have another halfback. And we have I believe a fullback, Canadian fullback from SFU.
Initials.
The fullback is TB.
Tom Brown.
Terry Bailey.
Oh, Terry Bailey.
And then the running back is LH. Pretty good player for the Lions around this time. So
LH.
1974. Also played for Calgary.
Oh, man.
He had 1,200 rushing yards in 1974. So pretty impressive by one person because it was more by committee back then.
Give it to me.
Lou Harris.
Okay, there we go. See, there you go. My 70s Lions trivia isn't as there, but
I just wanted to bring it up, though, 'cause I got an update from the CFL.
That's awesome.
I was happy about
Did you talk to Steve Daniel?
Jeff
Creever
from the
Steve's
CFL.
right-hand man. There you go.
Look at these box scores. I know it doesn't make for good podcasting.
Oh, no, that's... Those are artifacts. I love it.
So some old box scores of these games here I got emailed to me after the fact, but there's your update on all the touchdown scores. So Willie Fleming, the obvious one.
Willie Fleming, obvious, yeah. Yeah. I guess Joe Cap or Norm Fieldgate were kind of my other go-tos, but there you go. Awesome. Okay. Great update. That's awesome. Good job. All right, we're bringing it back by popular demand or something like that. Go for it or punt. I'll bat lead off here. Was very excited the other day, as we talked about, I think, or as you know, one of my favorite events of the summer. A lot of concerts in the summer. There was Weezer in Edmonton. Yep. There was The Weeknd at BC Place. And then wife and I went down to Woodinville, Washington to catch the Goo Goo Dolls. And it was awesome at an outdoor venue, a winery. And we found out just yesterday or the day before that they just announced a Canadian tour. Stop 2 is Abbotsford, the Rogers Forum. So this is what I'm going for. I'm going to go see them again. Floor seats for like $140 each.
Can't beat
which
that.
for a concert in 2025 on the floor in the center, awesome. So perfect venue for it too. This winery was awesome, but it was kind of spread out and it was general admission. So we got a seat kind of far away, but yeah.
There you
Loving
go.
it.
There you go. I'm excited for you. Concerts.
Yeah.
Like, I was trying to. I'm not sure if you're familiar. Do you know who Fred again is? The DJ.
Yeah.
So he announced this pop up. He's doing a worldwide pop up show tour where he announces the city a week before, and he was doing like Brussels and Madrid, and this week is Vancouver at the convention center on Friday. But I was in the queue. It's sold out in 8 minutes, and I was talking to Liam Thompson, old videographer here, about going, and neither of us were lucky. Nobody, it seems like, was lucky that I'm talking to. But so
yeah, that's tough. That when
High demand.
you're relying on. And very last thing on this, so night one of this tour is Victoria at the Save On Foods where we went to see the hockey game
Royals,
that time with Sean White and Rick Campbell and the crew. So we were kind of debating, should we just do the Victoria show, make a weekend out of it? But we decided, let's just keep it local and go to Abbotsford. So
Yeah, can't lose.
There you go. Yeah.
But we're back into hockey here, though.
Yes. How about those Canucks, eh?
How about the Golden Eyes? That's what I want to bring up,
Yeah.
too. Nathan Rourke, James Butler were there. I was talking to Nathan on
Overtime
Monday.
win.
Nathan said he wants to get out to a lot more games. I have some collab content. I'm going to try and float that out there at the Golden Eyes because it looked rocking there on Friday. It was a cool sight, right? But my go for it, though, is more to do with Jack Hughes. So the unfortunate news with Jack Hughes is that crazy injury story where he cut himself at a steakhouse in Chicago.
Yeah, that's what we're being told. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. By all sources, I was listening to guys on Spit and Chicklets. They were saying it was a tame night and it really had nothing.
Fair enough.
You would assume it was
freak accident.
Yeah, but anyways, Jack Hughes was spotted on a dinner date with Tate McRae the other day.
I did not hear this.
So I mean, we might have another power couple on our hands here. And
Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce, NHL edition is what you're talking about?
Exactly. And that's good, right? And Tate McRae is obviously Canadian. There's a little connection there for the Grey Cups in Calgary next year. There's an obvious halftime performer connection, right? Tate McRae's one. Probably the modern Britney Spears is how you describe her, right?
Yeah, I'd say so, yeah.
So that's a big deal, right? And Jack Hughes, he had the cast or whatever bandage on his arm from the cuts that he suffered. But
Anton's in New York's West Village.
Yeah,
there you go.
So a new power couple on the horizon. It's always good for the league, right? Maybe.
Oh yeah.
Maybe a CFL one pops up next year. You never know.
This generation's Wayne Gretzky, Janet Jones. I'm pretty sure. I'm even too young to remember, but when they first got together, I think Janet was a fairly big name. So there you go. New York. So yeah, if you play for the New Jersey Devils, that'd be kind of cool too. You just go to Manhattan on your days off. That'd be awesome. Just make the short drive and there you go.
Yeah, he was on the Devils.
All right. We will monitor that. Our celebrity insiders on this podcast will continue to
new segment.
Monitor that for us. All right. Here's something that's kind of been really, it shouldn't grind my gears, but it is grinding my gears. You know how the NFL schedule works, right?
Enlighten me. How it's all set, you mean?
Yeah. 14 of your 17 games are determined on a rotation.
Like division-based,
yes.
Right? Yeah.
So every 4 years, you're going to play every team at least once. At least once.
Yeah, home or away,
So this year, the NFC West plays the AFC South. Niners Colts coming up here in a few
Colts
weeks.
Seahawks.
Let's go. Let's go down. So I'm seeing all these comments saying, "Oh, the Niners have a weak schedule," and it's usually comments from Rams and Seahawk fans who play in the same division. So the Rams and Seahawks and Niners play 14 of the same 17 games. So ripping on your rival for having an easy schedule is kind of missing the plot. I'll take it one quick step further. So your 3 other opponents are based on the last year's standings. Niners, of course, finished last. So they play the last place team in the NFC North and the AFC North. So they go to Cleveland this week. But the last place team in the NFC North was Chicago. So the Niners will play the Bears, I think, the week after that Colts game.
The 8-3 Bears.
The division-leading Bears. So one of the extra opponents is leading their division right now. An example, the Seahawks get Minnesota this week because they are the equal place. So you know where I'm going with this? People ripping on a team for having a quote-unquote cupcake schedule is not only ignorant, it's just plain wrong. So that's what I'm punting for this week.
Yeah. The only strength of schedule stuff I'm looking at is fantasy football related. That's why I just acquired Saquon Barkley in a few of my leagues because he has some nice cupcake matchups against some weaker.
Are they actually going to use him though? Like they were using him? Like I got AJ Brown on my team. He's done nothing. So.
Well, he had a good week last week in Dallas, right? But
you know who won it for me last week was Jameer Gibbs.
Oh, ridiculous!
So, there you go.
That guy is insane. But
anyway,
the Rourke Chops, that's my fantasy team name. We're in good shape here. The Rourke Chops. Coming down the playoff stretch.
I might steal that one for my league next year.
My other one, and we have a work league. My Eberhardt will go on. I like that one. I try to keep it CFL based for all my fantasy team names and try to. That's my MO.
I'm gonna. I'm Shanahanigans. I literally Googled the best 49er themed fantasy names, and it was one year it was Pot Meet Kittle or a lot of PG or not PG-13 names available, but that's why I like to keep it with CFL. I had a big play NK Jr. going on a couple years ago when Vernon was here, so I tried to tie it to the BC Lions. All right, what do you got here?
So there's this thread on Twitter right now that popped up in my algorithm about people complaining about Americans or North Americans, I guess, wearing slippers, pajamas, sweats, hoodies at the airport because it's like here's why. Because it's distasteful, unhygienic, among other things. I could not disagree more. I'm the biggest cozy outfit to the airport guy around, unless the odd situation like on Monday where we had to go right from the plane to the press conference. Then you're dressing up. But I mean, the Winnipeg flights. They left at 6 a.m. I'm not dressing up at 6 a.m. I'm throwing on a hoodie and sweats, and it's not unhygienic. Like I'm wearing clean clothes, or not like they're steamed.
You want to be comfortable. I mean, Winnipeg, it's a 2 hour and 40-minute flight, right? Like
and we the one exception I think is maybe the dress code we have for our road games, right? Like to dress up for that, but those are pretty,
it's casual,
and you have more space on those flights too, right? We're not in a full flight, so it's much better. But I like a good hybrid. But if it's a 6 a.m. flight from Winnipeg to Vancouver, you can catch me wearing sweats. No shame.
My parents, we were talking. I don't know how this came up. My mom said recently that when they were kids, flying was it's a big deal now, but people used to get all fancy and dressed up just to go flying.
And people used to smoke cigarettes in planes.
Yep. Yeah.
Stuff has changed.
Exactly. I'm with you there. You want to be comfortable. Sometimes you see business folks dressed up, but they're on a business trip and maybe they're going right to a big meeting, right?
Yeah.
So
who cares at the end of the day? Do what you want.
Yeah. You do you, as they say.
Yes.
All right. My Eberhardt will go on. I might steal that one.
Yeah, I've been waiting to drop that out.
We got to get him re-signed first, and then I'll do it. Okay, excellent. Thrilled to be bringing some of these segments back. A reminder, we're every 2 weeks in the off season, unless something big goes down. Like if there is a big re-signing or something, maybe we'll hop on and do a quick
emergency
15-minute pod and do that sort of thing. So in 2 weeks, we'll have plenty. We'll be, again, December 9th is the schedule. Touchdown Kelowna, become a BC Lions season ticket holder. If you're looking for a Christmas gift for a Lions fan, season tickets, there you go. And you can join us at the Apple Bowl next June and July. So we're back in 2 weeks. Special thanks to World Vision Canada for their continued support of the podcast and the BC Lions. And let's go. Let the work begin.
Yep. Schedule time coming up. We're excited. It's starting to edit the reveal video, so it's coming.
Oh, it's going to be good. It's going to be good. We'll leave you with that. All right. Back in a couple of weeks on First and Now. Thanks again to especially the listeners. Go Lions.